Hello everyone. In our today's video, I'm going to show you how you can set up a React application using a vite and also how to use the Tailwind CSS in it, and then creating the routing using the React router DOM. So as you see, this will be our simple setup of application. Of course, my core fundamental is to show you how actually you can create those routing pages. As you see, we're gonna create that customs routing using that React router DOM, so to toggle through all the pages, and that's what we're gonna create. And to start with, we're gonna start with the vite. And just to start with, I have one empty folder here. I will open my terminal, and now you can go through the vite documentation to how to implement the simple React application. As you see, with the getting started, we just need to have these commands. I will just copy that, and then I'm going to run it here. So what I'm going to say is that, like a test project. Okay, so it's very simple to set up that. Just put y to yes, and now you will have a bunch of things which actually you're going to use the vanilla React, pre-React, or some other things. I will go with the React, and of course it's a simple project, so I will just go with the plain JavaScript. And that's done. If you put an ls, as you see, the project is created. So we'll just put the cd test our project, and after that I will open it in my code editor. Now this is the simple setup of project. As you may see here, I have only the source folder, and here in the source I have a little bit of assets, app.css and app.jsx, index.css, and a main.jsx. So first thing first, let's run our application, and to do that I will just take one git bash from here, and now I will just put that. As you may remember, in the vite there is a sum of the commands, as you may see here, which we need to follow: npm install and npm run dev. So I'll close it right now. So now what we need to do, npm I or npm install, so it will install all the dependencies required to run your application. Now it's very easy to create the initial application because it's not installing any other dependencies, so that's why it's building a very fast. But now as you see, it's taking a bit of time. Now let's run that command, which is npm run dev. Now it will not run in the localhost 3000. As you see, it says localhost 5173. So that's the localhost is just taking from that vite. So let's open it. Now here is the demo application. You see, it's a little bit counter application is happening. So what I will do, I will just clear up all the things from the app. So I will just go and click that, and now I will put everything inside a div. I will take an h1, so it will be that simple application. Okay, application, and as you see, this is our simple application. So now we don't want any kind of other CSS portions because we are going to grab that Tailwind CSS. So I will take another git bash here. So now I'm gonna install the Tailwind CSS, and to do that I will just put that npm install. Of course it will be -d and then the Tailwind CSS, and also I need that post CSS, and also I need that auto prefixer, so it will be auto prefixer. So these three things which are going to help me to run the Tailwind CSS inside in this project. And after finishing that, I also need to create another file. Either you can create a tailwind config.js in the top of directory, or you just run that command, which will be npx, and that will be tailwind css init and a p flag. So oops, it's my bad, it should be p flag, not the curly braces. Okay, so now as you see, I'm having the tailwind config.js file. So now here I just need to in the content folder, in that bracket, I need to pass that. So of course I have the content. So what I need to do is that define the path. Of course I will go with that index.html, and after that also I will go with that. It will actually go with the source. So I will go within the source, and inside the source I'm gonna access everything. also the subdirectory, and below that subdirectory I will get that file extension, which can be js, can be ts, can be jsx, and can be the tsx. So that's the core fundamental things I'm gonna use. And here in the index.css, I'm gonna remove everything from here. And now I'm going to define that I want to use that tailwind base, and also I want to use that tailwind components, and then I want to use that tailwind utilities. So that's the three things I want to use. Okay, as you see, all the structures have been gone. So now I'm going to remove that app.css file, which actually no longer be useful for me. I'm going to remove those things. No need that, and no need this portion. Okay, so as you see, that's the simple application is running. So now what I need to do, one more thing, is that I will close the terminal, and then I will put that npm run dev again. And of course I will take one new folder, in the new file, and here I will run my application again. As you see, that's the simple setup I have been done. And now as you see, my tailwind css is working. So if I put the class name, if I put the text axle, the text rate 500, you see that's working perfectly. So now you see, while I'm typing, I'm getting some like the IntelliSense going on, and that's the one it will help you to get. That one is called the tailwind css IntelliSense, that will be responsible to create that beautiful suggestion for you. So don't forget to install that one. So now, as my focus on to create the routing DOM, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get all other parameter from my previous application to hold up here and to create that. So first thing first, as you see, I have the asset folder. So what I'm gonna do to remove that asset folder from here, and then I'm gonna grab my previous asset folder. So I'll just get the setup from here, then I'm gonna start again. So now this is my simple setup of the project which I have. So now here is a very simple and a very easy way I did it, and that is to say is that I have my hero section and other properties. As you see, this is a very simple component tree. Don't worry about that. If you want the code, I will give it to you, as I always love to give you the free code. So now what actually I want to show you about the routing setup. So this is, don't worry about that. This is the simple CSS fundamental things which we create in all other applications. So now I'm going to show you how actually you can create the routing setup using that React Router DOM. And to implement that one, first thing first, we need to actually install that React Router DOM. So I will put that npm install, and that will be React Router DOM. Okay, so now feel free to go and read all the documentation from here. Actually that will give you a better understanding about how actually that things work. But trust me, when I'm gonna guide you through, you're gonna just find the right way to follow through. So this is the things I think is already done. So now I will go to main.jsx. Here the tricky things going to be happen. So first thing first, we will create a layout. Okay, so why actually we're going to create the layout? So we can inject that layout, like remember that header, and also there will be a footer, which I think I forget to implement here. So if I just get the footer, so let's get oops, it will be capital F, footer. Okay, sometimes the auto suggestion is not working properly, so import footer from, it's gonna be from the components, and it will be that footer. So now I have that footer, and also I have that header. So these two things gonna implement all other pages. So right now I don't have any page. If I go through that about, it will give a 404 error because I don't have that page. Okay, is it giving me something? Okay, I think because I didn't implement any routing, so it's not giving me any error, or it's not creating anything. So right now let's go back there and create all the routing. So this is the main.jsx. Here all the things going to happen. So first thing first, I'm gonna create that layout. So it will be const, and I'm gonna give a name of layout. I'll just simply declare an arrow function. So here I will just return something, and that thing I'm gonna put a div here, and inside the div I'm gonna pass my header here. So the header, and then I'm gonna pass a property called outlet from the React router DOM. As you see, I imported that one from the React router DOM, and then I'm gonna pass that footer. Remember how actually we are rendering the children inside our application. That's actually what it's going to do. In header and footer, gonna pass that header and footer, so all other pages property it's gonna be passed like as a props, and it's gonna just handle that one in this orderable fashion. So no need to worry about it, you're just gonna see in a bit. Now as we have the layout, we need to just declare the route setup. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, say const, and that's gonna be the router, and to create the router I'm going to use that create a browser router. Okay, don't forget to import that one from that React router DOM, and that is a function, and that's gonna take an array of things, and inside that array we're gonna pass everything underneath an object. So first thing first, we're gonna declare a path which gonna be home path for our base router, and then the element, remember we are now going to declare the element which gonna be wrapped through it as from the layout. So that's the element which is going to wrapping out here on our entire layout. And now you will declare the children. What are the children it going to append? So it also be array of children. That can be, there can be multiple children because we're gonna have the multiple pages. So now every children we're gonna pass as a props. So first one I will define as the home route, and that home route going to be the element which is going to be our app. Okay, so that will be our home route. So okay, that's cool. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just copy it several times because we're gonna have several router. So first is home, then we're gonna have the / about, and of course that we're gonna take the pages of about. So first we'll just take one route to see how actually that thing is working. I'm gonna comment out all of that. So first I'm gonna create an about page so that we can actually see how the about things is actually working. So to implement that one, let's go in that here. So now what actually we can do, we can create a folder. So that folder we're gonna name it as the pages, because we're gonna keep all the pages here. The first page is going to be about.jsx rafce to create a simple array function. And now here what I'm gonna do is to wrapping up, I'm gonna take that about me component which I have, and also that component I'm gonna give some class name which is going to be bj. It will be the primary color, text going to be gray of 200. Okay, so now if we go to that about page, you are not going to see anything, and that's cool because we are in the right track, because we mainly miss something, which is we need to inject our route setup. As you see, we have that router, but we didn't inject it yet. And to implement that router, I'm gonna remove everything. I don't want to see the streak mode or others. So I'm gonna get that router provider from React router DOM, and by default it's gonna take the router, and I'm gonna pass the parameter router here. So now our route is already set up. So now let's just reload that again. And as you see, as we create that about, we need to pass that about also here, which we need to import from that page. So now if I go back here in the about, you see it's simple about pages coming here. Also what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrapping up that. So now let's go back to header. I'm gonna wrap that image, and how I'm gonna wrap, I'm gonna wrap it with the link parameter which is coming from the React router DOM. And in the link parameter, now what I need to do, pass to formatter, like where I want to pass that link. So now of course it will go to /home, as you see. Now here we can see the two separate, like a header and also the footer. It's because remember that our app, we are declaring the header and footer here. So I'm just going to remove it here. Okay, so now we will be able to see a predefined format, which is that we have only single thing. And now what also I'm gonna do, create that route based things, because I remove it. I think we need to add that routing setup from here. and that is going to happen in the header also. So this is the p tag we have, so I'm gonna just wrap it with the link parameter. Okay, and as I wrap it here, I need to pass the key in that parent layout, and here I'm gonna pass the to parameter, which is going to be link on that too. Now if I go to about, as you see, I am in the about page, and of course if I click in the services, nothing available here. So now for the services, what we need to do, we need to create another page. And of course, if you're developing a Next.js application or other things, by default you're gonna have all those parameters, all the pages is set it. So but here you need to make the thing set up. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just take my all other pages, so it will be 3 more pages from here, which is going to be that contact pages, portfolio pages, and services pages. And here in that route parameter also I need to pass that pages, so I'm gonna just remove that comment from here, and now I'm gonna define my other route, the second one, which going to be services, and also I need to implement that services from the pages. And then again it's gonna be my portfolio, need to get that portfolio too, and then I'm gonna have my contact, and also need to import that contact. I think not that contact me, it will be I think it will be contact page, contact page. Okay, so let's import manually. So this will be the pretty much all other parameter here, so let's import it. So it will be import contact page from not from the component, it's gonna be pages and then contact page. I think I actually get some of the wrong things here, which is not going to be about, it's going to be about pages, about page, which is going to be that one. I think about is right, so the other parameters going to be, I think it's the wrong. Services is the services. Okay, services is right, portfolio is the portfolio. Okay, I think it's going to be okay. So only happening, the problem is happening with the contact page. Okay, right. So now if we create the services, okay, we are anywhere in the services. If we create on the portfolio, okay, now what's actually happening here in the portfolio, let's go back to the portfolio pages. I need to define that bj is defined and everything is defined. So what actually happening here, I think I take the wrong page, it should be portfolio page. Okay, now it's good. And in the contact, so that's the simple parameter. Now you can go back to create some parallel routing, and whatever the feel free you want to do it, you can do it from the React Router DOM. As you see, there's a lot of things here. If you just want to grab the main concept, you can do it. If you want to see the examples here, there are all the tutorial, you can actually go have a little bit of playground. So this is the fundamental how you can use and pretty much define everything. And also it will be helpful if you learn how to use the Tailwind CSS, because all the parameter is actually created using that Tailwind CSS. And now actually how you can grab and use that code, right? Because if you are not familiar what actually is happening, you can also make some practices with your own in your house, so how actually you can get there. So don't worry about it, I just show you how actually you can initialize the project using the vite and creating the route setup using the React Router DOM. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give that code, and then you can explore a bit, you can create some more new projects, and that will be very helpful for you. And to do that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that git in it to initialize my git here, and then I'm gonna make the git add dot to add everything in my git, and then I'm gonna put that git commit, which going to be it will be commit, and the first it will be initial commit. So now it's committed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just get my github.com, and then I will open a repository for you so you can use that one. And if you feel it's really helpful, then you can just shred that. So now I will take a new repository as I keep the name, which is the test project. So I will just put that as a test project here, and I will keep the public it for you. So it has been created, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna link up that within my application. So okay, done, and then git push, which going to be you origin master. So as long as you'll see there is the code, everything is here. Okay, I think something wrong, so I'll go back. Okay, let's go back more a bit. Okay, test project. Okay, so all other things is here. You just need to clone it, and then you just put that npm install, and all other things going to be there. So feel free to explore a bit how actually you're gonna do that, how actually you can interact with your application, and how you can create something more. So of course, I'm gonna come up with some more new videos which can be helpful for you. And one, it will be like simple things, which is actually going to be the Tailwind CSS spotlight theme. Here you're gonna see how actually I'm gonna build that things from this scratch. Actually, they build it with the top of a very good React components. So we're gonna create it also from this scratch, and I'm gonna show you how you can do that, and that will be coming in the next video. So hope we're gonna see you with that.